All right, so welcome back. I'm going to break down today's trade. Made $258 today. Basically, what I did on TQQ, that puts us up 12,191 bucks on the year, which is really nice. And basically, we minimized the losses for the year so far. And we've really just made big money on TQQ, 7,000. And it looks like 4,000 on 1Q. And then there's a couple hundred on each one. So mainly just trading the NASDAQ, but it's been working so far. So slow and steady wins the race. So small gains, could have made more today, but that's okay. So I bought around 54.5 and I'll show you where that was. And it was right in this area. And I like to trade the breakouts, but today I wasn't at the computer, but I was just watching on my phone. So I just made the trade on the phone. But I missed this whole run up from here, all the way from 53 all the way up to 55.5. And I decided to buy when I was looking at the RSI down here. And this is where I bought. So right here, you can see that the RSI was like around, it's not showing because of this magnifying glass, but it was around like, it looks like 30, 35. So I'm going to zoom into the area that I bought. And it was a very quick trade. And if I held, I would have made even more money, but it is what it is. So this is the area. And when a stock runs up like this, I try to see, is it trading above this 200 EMA line? Because on the same day EMA line, I look for the red 9 EMA and the orange, which is the 20 EMA, which it kind of changes over time as the day goes on. But when it was right here at this level at 54, I can't believe this because I was literally in at the low at 54.5 and I sold like right up here. And it's amazing if I would have just held, I would have made so much more money, but it's okay. I'm just happy to make the money, make the gains. In and out right now in this market, especially because I don't want to bag hold TQQ because it's been up to $40 a share. So I'm scared if I, hold, get, wasn't able to stop out, then, I'm holding this bag all the way back down because I feel like the market's still bearish technically. But looking right here, I watched the RSI was down here and it was at 34. And then even looking at the 5 minute, which let me just see if it hopefully it doesn't change the actual picture. Oh, it did. So looking at the, oh no, it didn't. Good. So looking at the 5 minute here, it was down to, oh, I'm sorry, right here. It was down to an RSI only at 51 right here. So definitely like not as, it was more riskier trade because normally I like to trade the 5 minute that's under 30, which would be in this area. But right here it wasn't. It was actually trading at 51. But on the 1 minute, it was actually trading much lower than that on the 1 minute RSI. Look at that. It would trade it at 35. So I decided to buy here. I actually had the low. I was actually, if you look at the low of this, I was in at 52.50, so or 52.52. So I'm just really surprised, and I sold really shortly up just to make the 270 bucks or whatever. But when I was trading that, I took those gains. And the reason I found this spot is I was originally looking at QQQ because I don't like to use TQQ as a reference. I like to trade TQQ, but I want to look at QQQ first, which is the overall NASDAQ. And the chart's going to look the same, but right here, it's the same exact chart, just the NASDAQ. And I just line them up and I say, okay, this is where I'd want to buy. So I wait for QQQ to get around this price target at 354. And then I look for my bounce. And there it was right there. And the reason I kind of picked that out was because I was watching RSI, but I was also watching when it ran up this much. I said, where did it break out? And it broke out at this zone. So right here, hold on, let me just draw it out so you can see it. So right here was a resistance area. So I figured once it went up here and failed, but then right here it broke through. Once it breaks that resistance level right here, this becomes a support level. Now, not long term, obviously, because look, it sold off later on in the day, but just for the next time that it approaches that level, there's an area of support. Because even right here, it was trading at 354.3, which we can look at TQQ to make it more reference because that's what it traded. Because the chart looks exactly the same. So let me just put this on here. And you can see it right here was the resistance level. And this is where it broke out. So then I traded this area, but I didn't trade at 54.76 that you see highlighted. I gave it a little more wiggle room at the, basically the hypothetical support line, which is 50 cents and a whole dollar. Always seems to be a nice little pop for 10, 20 cents. And that's all I was going for. That's all I was trying to get. to make my money. So it worked out and it went down to 52 and then it went all the way up to 56. I mean, that would have been an amazing buy. I could have got a whole point on it, but I wasn't really near the computer and I was just trying to get the trade in and just make the money. So that was the recap for the day. But when you're just looking at the overall market, a little bit of weakness today. I don't know if it's not trading past that 6-month EMA. So looking at the 6-month EMA, it failed right here. So that's why I'm just cautious to be trying to hold, because right here at 357 is your 6-month EMA. And we don't truly know if it's actually going to pass it or not. So if it doesn't, then I don't know. I just think it's going to sell back down. So I'm just trying to be cautious and not create bags right here, even though it looks so bullish. But it has to pass this 200 EMA for the bulls to really take over. So I'm not sure if it's a dead cat bounce or not. But only time is really going to tell. So I'm just staying light on the positions. And if it is higher, I'll buy higher. But I just keep playing the dips for now. I do believe we might get a nice pop at 345 because that's your 9 EMA, which is 345 for QQQ. And if that fails, then the 20 EMA, 342. That's what we're looking at. And if it fails these lines, it's going back down. But let's just see where it goes in the next days. It depends what's going to happen in the news articles, basically. So that's where I'm looking at. I just want to bring that gain up, just show you we're doing pretty good. We're up on the year, just trying to keep the gains going. And I'm still holding just the one index fund right now, which is FDRV, which I have an average of like $25. So I wasn't able to, I've just been adding to them, but that's it. So just wanted to bring that up. And when I look at these other stocks, AMC is just blowing up right now because look, it's at $20. It used to be 70, but like over the last like 10 days, it's just been so bullish. I mean, it's all the way up from $12. Whoever bought this at $12, $14, it's like great. Take those profits. But that's it. That's all I wanted to show you for today.